Okay, Mike says, hi, beautiful people. I don't know about that, but he says, I want to ask about using keywords in H2 title tags on the homepage. I have 6 keywords. Is it okay to create a homepage using exact match keywords for the H2 titles? Keywords equal services or service types. Thanks. Um, I don't know. That's a good question. I typically I don't put that many H2, like usually it's a hierarchy of headings. So if it's long form content, then H2 might be like the next big section of content on a long form article or on a long form page, in other words. And in any sort of like kind of like subcategories or reinforcing points within the overall broader topic or point that you're trying to make, then those would be H3s, right? And so I usually don't use more than one H2 on a page at any time. I don't really know what you're trying to accomplish there, because if you're just trying to link over for navigation purposes, I mean, I understand you're trying to SEO it too, but I don't understand what you're trying to accomplish with using H2 tags. Is it that you think H2 tags are more powerful than something else? So I'm just kind of curious as to what you're trying to accomplish with there. Does anybody have an idea what you might be trying to do?
I'm not sure what he's saying.
Yeah.
Um, like H2 title tags, he has 6 keywords in a list. If they're all services, I mean, here's my thing. Look at what your competition is doing, and this is where you can use any tool, correct? Any tool that analyzes this, and you'll get an average of whatever it is that they're doing. So just go and do what the top are doing, rather than focus on, oh well, what can you do? You can do a lot of things. Whether you're supposed to do it, well, that's another thing. How are your competitors doing it on their pages? And as a matter of fact, on keyword density, I would even go as far as to say that that's what your competitors' average is more important than any hard set number. But then that's because people are changing since it's AI, and people are changing what the average is. That then now you go for that app for the industry or niche average, rather than some hard set number that does not apply across every niche. So it's something that I've been taking a really good look at. And you can get away with multiple H1s now. It used to be that only one was recommended. But if the
Yeah.
competition is doing multiple H1s, then you can get away with multiple H1s. Same thing with multiple H2s. It used to be only one H2 and then the rest were H3.
Right.
But if the competition is getting away with it, then that means you need to go and look at what you can do to match your competitors.
So in one case where multiple H1s is okay is like on a blog index page, right? Where it's list or a category index page, any sort of archives page like that, where it's listing multiple posts, for example. Each one of the post titles are going to have H1 tags. That's okay, because that's it's an index page, like a blog roll essentially. Here's an example where multiple H2s would be okay. So for example, I'm going to use tree service example, but like arborist services, right? So typically I always set up, if it's an actual certified arborist for a tree service company that has a certified arborist on staff or is the owner, then I will have 3 silos on a tree service site. There will be tree trimming, one silo, tree removal, a next silo, and an arborist services, which includes multiple different types of services like cabling and bracing, tree inspections, disease control, things like those are all different. So in that case, on the arborist services page, because each one of those arborist services are unique services in their own right, but they're only services that an arborist could potentially, they're services that only an arborist should provide or perform. Then each one of those kind of services could have their own H2 tags, because they're unique enough that it makes sense to have H2s. Does that make sense? But again, you got to think about, it's kind of like how you structure a silo with your top level keyword and then your supporting keywords, which are longer tailed. That's how I always looked at H tags on a page. It's a way to create a hierarchy within the theme, the content theme of the page. Does that make sense? So you want to stack things accordingly. So that's just an example of what I'm saying, how I would stack it. So, I mean, there are times when multiple H2s would be okay, but that's where I think it would be okay. So if you were to have 6 different services that you were, and you had a lot of content on the homepage and you wanted to do it by H2s, I don't see why that would cause any problem. But I like what Marco says, see what others in your industry, right, in the same niche are doing, and mimic that to a degree. You know what I mean? So anyways, that was a good question as well.